Marty Cornish, welcome to the Preconstruction podcast.
Gareth, great to be here.
There it is, loud and proud, up in the corner, workorder.ai. Okay, let's get started. So, Marty, thank you for reaching out to us first and foremost. For anybody that doesn't know you, I'll give a quick introduction and then you can tell us where you're at right now. Serial entrepreneur since graduating in 2009 with a psychology degree. Give us an idea of what you're working on right now and then kind of the backstory of how that came about.
Workorder is an automated quantity takeoff solution today. It's saving our customers over 50% of their time on architectural quantity takeoff. So we use AI to automatically detect walls, doors, windows, rooms, gross square foot areas, labels, tables, symbols, and then enable our customers to just get the quantity data that they need to power their estimates much faster.
Love it. But again, Workorder wasn't your first kind of jump into the construction industry. Talk to us about Easy Paint and how Workorder kind of came out of Easy Paint.
My previous ventures, Easy Paint and Round Trip Sports before that, I was just kind of solving the problems in front of me. The first company I started was just a sports training company, kind of as a summer job. I played baseball all the way through college and, previously just started coaching kids and, started making money at it and then hired some people to do it. And ended up opening a 9,000 square foot facility with, former major leaguers and, had a good time doing that. We sold that in 2014. And continued on with Easy Paint, which was a managed network of paint and drywall contractors. Primarily, we also did some tile and some framing and some associated renovations. And the biggest thing we were trying to do there is automate as much of the process between people hiring subcontractors and the subcontractors themselves, so that they could just kind of accept work and go do the work and have seamless transactions, similar to how Uber and Airbnb and similar platforms work today. One of the biggest hurdles to that was this quantity takeoff and estimating process, because many of our customers ended up being GCs, and bidding the work required a lot of clicking and tracing and crazy Excel spreadsheets that ran a whole bunch of calculations from the outputs. And so it became very tedious and complicated. And so, that's where the idea, kind of for Workorder came out of. We sold Easy Paint in 2021, kind of as we were working on Workorder. So.
Brilliant. Well, Marty, it sounds like you're an absolute legend when it comes to estimator and pre-construction professionals, because you're solving the idea of getting a painter quickly, maybe drywall, framing, and now you've moved on to the automated quantity takeoff software. Because let's be honest, I mean, it's a bane of every estimator's work. It's a tedious kind of job that they do, and they don't want to have to do it all the time. So give me an idea of Workorder, how it actually solves it, and then how does it automate it?
I mean, inside Workorder, the big paradigm shift is that rather than clicking and tracing or clicking and counting, you just do a quick setup. Workorder then automatically detects, measures, and counts the objects you've set up within the document. So you just upload the PDF, you set up what we call sections. Those are the areas inside Workorder where inside the document that you want to process objects. So you're going to say, okay, well, I want to detect objects inside this section, this section, this section. You can set up one or many on a single page, one or many throughout the document, and then you hit process. It automatically detects all the objects that you've set up inside those sections, and then it enables you to very quickly manipulate the objects that have been detected on the screen so that you can group the data however you want. So, this world of AI in estimating, it's like, okay, well, I've got all this automation, like, kind of where does that put me as estimator? And for estimators, you almost become more a curator of the data or a steward of the data, making sure that you group everything in the ways that are going to, most affect your costs, make sure that the unique aspects of the project that are, most important on the job, and make sure that there are no mistakes all the way through. So.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So this can do it basically automatically. So what happens then to the data? Where is it stored? Is it stored in Workorder? Is it stored on the estimating platform, the 360 Preconstruction platform? How does it plug in to these platforms?
Yeah, I mean, integrations are a huge wave here for pre-construction software. I mean, software solutions, as you're thinking about your software solutions, they've got to integrate well. They've got to play nice together, and that's really the key. So you can either be in one application with one store data, or you can have different solutions for each problem that integrate well, so that the data flows throughout the construction lifecycle, so that you can use that data throughout. Historically, quantity takeoffs have just lived inside Excel spreadsheets and in PDF markups on a single user's machine. In Workorder, they exist in the cloud so that they can be accessed from any application. So it's just a simple API call, and we have integrations with a bunch of different software solutions that they just make an API call and pull the annotation objects, every line, all the line work, they pull that into their application so that they can see the quantity takeoff that was created inside Workorder inside their application. So all of that automation can exist in other applications as well. It can be pulled into other applications. That complete data set, if you will. It lives in Workorder, but it can be pulled into any application as needed for estimating, for progress tracking, for kind of any use case that it's needed.
Brilliant. So basically, a client or a company, a GC doing a commercial project for 40 million can turn around and go, right, I'm going to select these 3 or 4 data points. I'm going to pull them out of Workorder. I'm going to put them into my estimating software, or however they want to display them. And then they can say, right, all projects moving forward, I'm going to basically copy this and then use them as a historical data throughout the next 10 years.
The historical data piece more comes out of the estimate. So for us, it's quantities, and so they can use those quantities on a single project for different parts of construction. So some of our customers are estimating out of Excel, and our application exports to Excel. So you've got an Excel spreadsheet with all your quantities that you need to do your estimate. You can just do it in our spreadsheet or copy paste into another spreadsheet. If you're estimating out of another estimating software, Destiny, Estimating Edge, Sage, whatever it is, either that requires an integration, some of which already exist, or that requires the estimator to manually enter, from the Excel output into those solutions. And so those are kind of the situations that our customers have right now today. But having that data as sort of cloud stored data in the quantity allows you to pull it all the way through the progress tracking. If you're using open space or structure and say, or Holo Builder, Drone Deploy, to actually track percent complete on different aspects of construction. The only way to do that is by having the actual quantity data in a real data flow. And so you can really start to have a seamless handoff from pre-construction all the way through project management, and this data can flow throughout. So
brilliant. And we talked about it before, but the big thing with Workorder is the collaboration thing and the transparency thing. How's that been perceived and received on from estimators and pre-con professionals?
Well, so there are 5 main areas of focus for us, and we see as waves across pre-construction and construction more broadly. There's automation, which is kind of an obvious one that customers are buying today, in an AI takeoff solution that saves them over 50% of the time on architectural quantity takeoff. That's kind of an obvious one, is the automation, but collaboration is what you're getting at now. Integrations, which we just hit, data accessibility and version control, so that you can sort of replicate, at different design revisions. And so that collaboration aspect, you can have multiple estimators in the same project at the same time, and start to make notes and different RFIs in a cloud-based, web-based application, so that it doesn't just exist in one file on one device. And so it makes estimating takeoff today more more collaborative. But we see a world where, kind of all of pre-construction is a lot more collaborative, a lot more automated, a lot more integrated into other software applications as needed. The data is always accessible, and regardless of what version of the takeoff or estimate you're working in, you can see all previous versions, and you can see, okay, well, what changed here or there, whether it's a takeoff revision, an estimate revision, or just overall plan revisions. As those design milestones roll out, you can kind of benchmark against previous revisions and all that kind of thing. So that's kind of where we see the world going, and we're building for. So
that's what I was going to say. It sounds as if that little entrepreneurial wheelhouse is kind of chugging along in that head of yours. Where can we see Workorder next? I mean, is it going to be another version of it? Is it going to be another product within AI and pre-construction? What's the plans?
Well, I mean, we see, again, kind of automating as much of the pre-construction workflow as possible, and making it, as collaborative as possible. So we're continuing to roll out different automated solutions for different trades. So, I mean, right now today, it's kind of your architectural sheets. So, any of the A sheets, automating right now we detect all the walls, all the doors, all the windows, all the rooms, any symbol throughout the document you want, kind of better than any other symbol detection that exists. And then any labels you want, you can attach wall, door, window label to those respective objects. They get grouped automatically. You can detect tables and then match those up with different objects as needed. But from there, going through all the structurals to say, okay, well, this is the concrete scope. These are all my concrete takeoffs. And we see these not as takeoff objects, but as objects. So a wall is a wall. It's not a line, and you can assign different properties based on what's a wall, different costs based on what's a wall. So you can assign one or many different cost components, or would be conditions and kind of an OST solution, or assemblies and some of the other solutions. So you can assign one or many to a single object, and so it allows you to drill down a lot more, a lot more granular, a lot more flexible into the estimate ultimately, when you can assign these things based on what the object actually is. So, a wall is a wall, it's not a line, a door is a door, it's not a count, those sorts of things. You can really figure out what each object actually it represents. And then it enables, from the 3D model, a lot more seamless integration all the way through the estimate as well. So most of our customers are bidding out of 2D PDF. That's what we automate. We automatically detect from the 2D PDF, but the data has to roll, kind of flow both ways, so that every work breakdown structure, that's designed, can take all the way through to procurement. So we see that, that path, and we're, continuing to build all the way through that, that path.
Brilliant, love it. And it sounds to me what you kind of summary you've just given it, the detection side of things is something that is unique to Workorder and against your competitors. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, that's our main differentiator today is the AI, is detection of objects. So,
okay, good.
No click and trace. It's all these objects are detected automatically, and the annotations are put on the screen for the user automatically. So all the line work is put there automatically. The click and traces are done automatically, and then you can manipulate that data however you want. A bunch of things can be grouped automatically depending on the settings that how you've set it up. But it's a lot more automated than any other solution that exists today.
And then it's customizable at the same time when you're talking about groups and objects.
Correct. Very, very flexible. So you have full control with a lot more automation. I mean, so cool. That's the world of kind of the future for all of pre-construction. Really is with AI, it enables you to have a level of automation that has never existed before. And so if you leverage AI in your process, you can have massive time savings of up to 10x, maybe even beyond that. Speed improvements in your workflows, and it becomes, okay, well, let's control all of this, make sure that we have the understanding of the project, make sure that we are grouping data the way we want to. So full flexibility, full control, full understanding, but a lot greater time savings is kind of the right way to think about leveraging automation in your workflow.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm glad you said leverage and the automation and the time saving, because I can hear the pre-construction managers, the estimators shouting at the podcast going, is this going to take my job? No, we can definitely, it'll just allow the estimators, am I right in saying that it'll allow the estimators, the pre-con managers to do the high touch, the high value stuff when it comes to value engineering and their expertise?
For sure. I mean, what we hear as far as quantity takeoff is, this is mind numbing. We don't want to be doing this kind of work. We want to be focused on the high leverage activities. And, if you look at banks, they added more tellers when ATMs came out, not fewer. And so, it allows you to focus on those relationships with vendors, relationships with clients, and, more clearly communicate. I mean, the things that we hear over and over again is being more transparent with customers, being more consistent, streamlining our processes, making sure that we're more efficient overall in our processes. And so, when you hear those things again and again across the industry from all different customers of all different sizes, I mean, we have customers, the largest GC in the US, all the way down to small $1 million a year. So when you hear the same things over and over again, they want things to be more efficient. They want to be spending more time on the high leverage activities, which are around the relationships, rather than just tediously clicking and tracing. So ultimately, Workorder gives our customers superpowers. It allows them to focus on the things that that only they have unique experience and understanding of. Workorder automates the part of the job that anybody can do. So
absolutely, yeah. And it feeds into the estimator, the pre-construction manager. I mean, the estimator, pre-construction manager very rarely now is down in the weeds. I mean, the takeoffs, they've got to be done, don't get me wrong, but with automation, with technology, it's becoming much, much easier. And the modern day pre-construction manager is dealing with the clients, dealing with the subs, is finding out where they can save that $1.5 million out of a commercial project. I love it, Marty. I'm looking forward to watching this one now. And Marty, just listen, if there's anybody now within a pre-construction department saying, you know what, Workorder, love the idea, 50% time saved on automated quantity takeoffs, where is the best way to hit you up? Is there an email address, LinkedIn? How do they contact you?
You can schedule a demo right from our website, workorder.ai, and yeah, you can see it for yourself in action. I mean, the way we do demos is, we'll show you our file and then run one with one of your files, and we try to prove value at every stage is kind of how we approach this. We know our customers have to constantly be delivering value for their clients. We try to do the same. So yeah, schedule a demo, check it out, and
there you are, folks. Marty Cornish, you heard from the CEO. Get on that website and order your demo. Thank you very much, Marty. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Gareth. Great to be here.